Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So before we even get started, I have a question. What in the world is happening to this week? It is insanity, and I actually just had a load canceled as well, so I'm in a great mood. It has been so bad this week that I actually had to ask brokers what is going on, and the answer I got was we have no idea. It's crazy. Anyway, let's chat about what's happening in the market, whether the data shows us that the market is getting better or worse, and then we'll look at specifics for dry vans, reefers, and flatbeds to see where the best areas are, if there are any left. But before we start, I do have some exciting news. Ready? Let's go. You guys might have realized that I don't do sponsored videos on this channel, and the reason for this is because I need to be confident in the product that I am advertising, and this time around I definitely am. This is a product that I use every single day for hours on end, and of course I'm talking about the Truck Stop Load Board. You guys know that I'm a spot market carrier just like many of you, and a good load board is the lifeline of my company. Without it, I am blind, I am broke, and I'm pretty much out of business. Now, I personally use the Pro version that makes life a little bit easier and much more efficient when it comes to actually booking freight. Not only do loads update in real time, but I also get the benefit of seeing the loaded rate per mile, which makes a huge difference right away. That alone has helped me book better loads much faster instead of having a bunch of applications open trying to calculate all those rates per mile. And of course, safety and security is a huge thing, and Truck Stop offers something that I have not seen on other load boards. Not only can you see the days to pay of each broker, the credit score, but you can also now figure out which brokers have open claims against them for non-payment. Now, Truck Stop offers 3 pricing packages, and Truck Stop was gracious enough to provide me with a link that I'm sharing with you guys down below, which offers 1 month free when you sign up for the Pro version. So if you're looking to try a new load board because you're unhappy with the one you have right now, or if you're new to this industry and are looking for a load board, give truckstop.com a go, especially if you are a flatbed carrier, because this load board is known to be the best load board for flatbeds. All right, so as always, we're going to start with the net change in carrier population. And as of last Friday, we lost 244 carriers net. Now, what is going on with the spot to contract spread? Well, as you can see, the dark blue line is us in 2024, comparing it to 2023. And you can see it kind of made a U-turn and started going down, which is not a good thing. That means that the gap between the spot market carrier and contract carriers started increasing again. And just so you guys know, currently contract carriers are getting on average 49 cents per mile more than those spot carriers. So then we have our volumes. White is 2024, blue is 2023. While volumes are still above 2023 levels, what you can see is that they started going down. And when volumes start going down, that's not a really good sign. I'm not sure what is happening. What about rejections? Any good news there? Unfortunately not. Again, the white line is 2024 compared to 2023. The good news is we're still above 2023 levels. The bad news is look at that drop that is happening with rejections. Currently, we are seeing an average rejection rate of 4.64%, which is really, really bad. And again, I'm not sure what is happening. It does seem like this is a pattern that has happened last year as well, so hopefully we're going to see them going up again. And then finally, we have our diesel prices. We just saw an uptick in diesel prices, as you can see. And currently, the average price per gallon is $3.86 per gallon. All right, now let's talk about the spot market, starting with dry vans. What is happening there? This data is from FTR Intel. So last week, the average price per gallon for a dry van was $2.01. This week, it's $1.95, which is a 6-cent drop week over week. Now, year over year, we actually saw an increase. So compared to last year, dry vans are seeing spot rates that are 2% higher. However, over the past 5 years, dry van rates are down 10%. Now, volume week over week right here is down over 9%. So volume dropped off a cliff on the spot market, although year over year it's up 5%. But over the past 5 years, it's down 28%. All right, now the question is, what are the better market areas for those dry vans? And we're looking at the rejection and volume in the general market, putting it all together to figure out where more contract loads end up on the spot market. So first, let's start with the top 5 in the general market. In terms of volume, the top 5 states for dry vans are Ontario, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Detroit, Michigan, and Los Angeles, California. Doesn't mean these are the best markets though. In terms of the top 5 rejection states, and the rejections are in the brackets for dry vans, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, followed by Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Roanoke, Virginia, Jacksonville, Florida, and Tallahassee, Florida. But putting those two together, the volumes and rejections, we get an idea of the best market areas relative to the rest of the market. And those are for the dry van, Houston, Texas, Ontario, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, and finally Dallas, Texas. Now let's talk about reefers on the spot market. So last week, the average reefer rate per mile was $2.38. This week, it's $2.33, which is a 5-cent decrease week over week. However, year over year, reefer rates are up 5%. Now let me move this a little bit here. Rate over 5 years is down 6%. Volume-wise, volumes are down 10% from last week, also a drop off a cliff in volumes. Year over year, they're down 11%, and over 5 years, down 25%. All right, so now let's do the same thing for reefers. We're looking at rejections, volumes. These maps are by Sonar, and then we're coming up with data of top 5 volume states, top 5 rejection states, putting that together to figure out the top 5 markets for reefers. So in terms of volumes, the top 5 states for reefers are Allentown, Pennsylvania, Joplin, Missouri, Joliet, Illinois, Lakeland, Florida, and Atlanta, Georgia. This is where a lot of the volume comes out in the general market. In terms of rejections for reefers, Quincy, Illinois, Bismarck, North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, Little Rock, Arkansas, and surprisingly, Green River, Wyoming. Now, putting those two together, what are the relatively best top 5 markets for reefers? Well, number 1 is Joliet, Illinois. Number 2 is Ontario, California. Number 3 is Joplin, Missouri, followed by Fresno, California, and finally Chicago, Illinois. Now, if you guys are confused about how I get to these, it's very simple. I take the volumes and rejections in each market area and figure out which market areas have more volume hitting the spot market, because the volumes are high and the rejections are high, and therefore it gives me a number of which top 5 are seeing those loads pushed to the spot market. This is important because when the spot market volume starts increasing, it kind of skews the supply and demand, increasing those rates on the spot market. Last but not least, we have our flatbeds and the spot market. So last week, the average rate per mile was $2.37. This week, it fell by another 1 cent to $2.36. Now, year over year, surprisingly, flatbed rates saw a 1% increase. However, over the past 5 years, they are down 7%. Now, volumes, just like for reefers and dry vans, saw a decrease week over week, here by 5.4%. Year over year, volumes are actually 23% higher for flatbeds than this time last year. But of course, over the past 5 years, volumes are down 30%. So now let's talk about the best market areas using truck stop data, since Sonar does not provide that kind of data for flatbeds. Load volumes. The lighter an area is, the less volume on the spot market for flatbeds. And as always, the plain states don't have a lot of stuff for flatbeds. The South is where it's at, as well as California, Oregon, and some parts of the Midwest and East Coast. But this means nothing without understanding where the capacity is at. And here we have the same principle. The lighter it is, the less trucks there are in that market. And you can see that most trucks stick to the South as well as the Midwest and East Coast, and California and Colorado. Where is it? There it is. Colorado is a surprising thing, but as I say, week over week, it's probably because the rate to go to Colorado is good, so people just panic book those loads. Now, we have to put the volumes and the capacity together to figure out the load to truck ratio for flatbeds. Where are the better markets? Where do you have more negotiating power? Anything red is less than a load per truck, which means overcapacity. It became really bad right before July 4th, and it has stayed pretty much bad. Now, the beige areas like California, Oregon, Washington, this is where there is more or less balance, about one load per truck. Anything yellow like Nevada or Arkansas, there are 2 loads per truck. And green, Mississippi and Alabama, is over 3 loads per truck. For the past month, we have seen that Arkansas has been green as well, but obviously it got a little bit worse, unfortunately. So yeah, still a tough market. This week has definitely not been filled with the best of news when it comes to the data. And of course, the beginning of this week was a shock to my system. Not only did load volumes and rates go down drastically, and I'm speaking from the flatbed perspective, but brokers started acting up as well. I had pretty unpleasant conversations with a few brokers, one of which was TQL, when I lost my cool because he was trying to shove this really crappy paying load down my throat after I told him multiple times that I am not hauling it. And the other one, I don't remember the broker, but I had to tell him that he's being unprofessional and to watch his mouth. Am I the only one feeling this way this week? Is it just some bad juju surrounding me, or are you guys in the same situation? I'd love to hear what you think of this week and whether it's all in my head. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and joining today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you in the next video.